Hello YouTube, let's go line by line through our source code to see what means. If you're getting into web development line of business right now, consider yourself extremely happy because you will deal with HTML5. That means that you are evading hell of HTML versions that we use in past decades. For example, let me show you something. If you go to W3C, Quality Assurance Recommended List of Doc Type Declarations, yeah, there is HTML5 here, but check this mess from past. We have HTML versions 4 and subversions strict transitional frame set, and that was not enough. XHTML 1.0 strict transitional and frame set, and then 1.1, and then basic 1.1, and a lot of mess down there. So we can consider ourselves really happy because we are just dealing with HTML5. That means that a lot of people have done some improvement, and now we have something which is really useful, really understandable, clear, and we don't need to mess around with these hell of X versions. Right. Now, next line. Where is my editor? Just a second. Oh, this is obvious. The proposition here is that the text is in English, really simple stuff. Character set, UTF-8, you probably know that. But if your language is not a primary English, I mean your page, that means that your specific local characters, if you use UTF-8 here, will be correctly represented. If you don't use UTF-8 here, maybe your local characters will look totally cryptic on user browsers. So allow me again to show you something. Now, this is UTF-8 wiki page. And here's the deadline, interesting. Since 2009, UTF-8 has been the dominant encoding for the World Wide Web. So that's really important sentence, and down there you have even charts. So let me find yet another line, 2018. Okay, so by 2018 most languages have use of UTF-8 up in the low to high 90%. So that means that you can be pretty much safe if your language is not English, that your character will be correctly presented on users' browsers, devices. Right. Okay, what's next? Now, this viewport line here, this is one line, but it's complete mess. People use it, but they don't know why. They just say, this is because I want my site to be responsive. But here's the thing, this line is not standard at all. How I know that? Well, check this out. This is official page from MDN web documents. Okay, now the author of that line is Apple. So Apple introduced the Viewport Meta Tag in Safari iOS to let web developers, check this out, control the viewport size and scale. But this line is interesting. Now, even guys from Mozilla, they had, check what they say, but we had to do some detective work to figure out exactly how to implement it into Fennec, whatever it is. So they refer us to Apple's documentation. Now, I have that link component somewhere here, okay? Oh yeah. So configuring the viewport. And if you really want to invest into that one line, couple of hours of practicing and understanding, then you need to grab this line. But I think just it's too much work to do because we are learning Bootstrap, so we will just skip this. If you really want to get into depth of viewport, you can get this line, this page and this page from Mozilla. Now, where is that thing that it's not standard? Let me see, just a couple of seconds. Okay, standard. Oh, yeah. So many other mobile browsers now support this tag, although it's not part of any web standard. So that's where I get that thing that it's not well, maybe it's mandatory today, but it's not part of some web standard. People use it. It's just the fact, Where is that line again? Okay, it would be good to have a true standard for web pages to control viewport properties. Official Mozilla statement. I didn't invent this. So that was about viewport, right? Now, this line here, with that line, we will grab Bootstrap CSS. Of course, CSS must be in the head of our web page, PHP page, whatever. Now, this line here, line 9, is completely same as a line in official documentation. If you go to get started, I think, yeah. So this is that line, okay? Style sheet, blah, 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 stack path, Bootstrap content delivery network, 431, Bootstrap min CSS. If we check that into our what's the term? Yeah, editor, absolutely same CSS file, but we are getting it from their network, and that's fine. It's like we are outsourcing things here. Now, after that, we have JavaScript thingies, but check this out. These JavaScript files must be in specific order. So first it's GQ, okay, GQ, slim, then popper or pooper, whatever, here, and then Bootstrap JS right here. So this is some order that we need to respect, and these lines here are exactly like they are into documentation. Let me find that. Many of our components require the use of JavaScript. Yeah, I mean, JS is important if you wanna your page to be interactive, because there are some things like, for example, models. When you use them, when you click on them, something will pop up. For example, like launch demo model. See? So if you want this happening on your page, you must include that JavaScript things. Right. Where I was? Just a second. Oh man, I lost myself. Oh yeah, JavaScript files. So the order GQ, okay, here, then popper, pooper, and then Bootstrap. So that's the thing, right? The absolutely same pages. So 8 minutes tutorial, Jesus, not again. Anyway, let's split our web page into actual content, and we will have here into header, and we will have this part into footer. So let's create new file, header, PHP, and new file, okay, footer, PHP. Okay, so let's grab this part here and put it into header, and then that's fine. So let's grab this part here from base template and let's put it into footer. Right, save. Now this is header. Oh yeah, index page. Now we don't need this. So the question is how to include these PHP individual pages right now, because we just don't want to watch into these all over again. What's the point? We are using Bootstrap, right? So index page, and how to include our PHP files. PHP include, what's the name of file, header, PHP extension, and semicolon. Now let's just copy this right there, because obviously it's a footer. Okay, so let's arrange that, header to footer, and let's save it, and let's check our page, refresh. So everything is fine, the beautiful font. Let's see what page source is. So this is CSS, right? That's cool. And we have JS, GQ, popper, and Bootstrap. Yeah, so that's cool. Okay, now This tutorial is a little bit longer than I thought anyway, but now you know a couple of things, how to include PHP files into PHP files, but you know, you probably know that from before. You know the couple of things from official standards and not so. And yeah, see you next tutorial where we will grab actual CSS and JavaScript files and we will put it into our local server. So maybe you want to do some kind of customization, or you don't trust CDNs, something like that, you know, but it's totally up to you. Anyway, enough talk, enough chatting. I'm going to render and see you next tutorial.